Hello, viewers. It's Cynthia Michael from Scooby-Doo, bringing you a new podcast, bringing you a new podcast from my segment called the Boruto Review. And like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly in case you don't understand me. Also, I'll try to do my best not to feature hard during this audio podcast recording as well, not to cause any audio feedback as well. And finally, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will change your adult language. If you're under 18, now once again, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will change your adult language. If you're under 18, now if you're over 18, then you're good to watch this audio podcast recording. So anyway, with everything else out the way, let's get into the latest. So basically, let's get into the latest episode four. Though. So basically, in last week's episode, Boruto and others find out from a pirate that they found and captured. You know that Kaida is one of the main members of the Funtara Pirates. Now, this episode takes place this episode takes place before when the pirate forces of Fusaki return with his body. So basically, this episode takes place before that event, like a few minutes before that event when Fusaki's people retreated, and brought his body back. So anyway, let's get into it. So basically, we see Kaida being a nurse maid to his sister Siren. She's in the medical bay at the main pirate's headquarters, recovering for her wounds, and that she from Kaguya's sword attack. So anyway, so basically we see K-Bon, Funsaki's son, just hanging out, hoping that that Lady Siren will be okay and whatnot, bring her themselves and whatnot. So anyway. So basically, Kaya was drawing a picture of the ship he wants to be to go share the world with, blah blah blah. And basically, K-Bon, got him out of the room for a minute, to see his target skills and whatnot. Just hanging out with K-Bon. So basically, it turns out that we see the other side of the Fume Pirates. The pirates are just not made up of just men, just a bunch of men. There's also women in the pirate gangs as well that help refixing the ships that got damaged. Helped out as well. There was women. That help repair the ships and whatnot, along with the men. But it seems like the women doesn't fight. Only the men do the serious battles. But anyway, Israel, or I call it Arab. I call it Iran. So basically, was talking to his father, Iran, about how bad shape they're in. So basically, so basically, after the forces got damaged in that whole situation, that when Timma jumped the gun and basically forced us into that battle, we're in some pretty bad shape. So basically, we don't have, so basically like Iran was like, we don't have enough period to fix the battle forces. Turns out the battle forces, the battle forces could be fixed, but they don't have enough materials to fix it. Our forces were decimated after Timba, after Timba, jumped the gun and forced the battle, forced into that battle with the Muzikage and his fleet of battleships were in bad shape. So basically, like Iran was dad was telling his father like we need to once Fusaki comes back, we need to regroup we need to lie low for a while and regroup and rebuild our forces back up. So basically, everyone was not trying to hear that bullshit. He wants them. He wants to get rid of he wants to get rid of the Mist Village. He wants to destroy the Mist Village. He's so obsessed so obsessed focuses on destroying the Mist Village and whatnot. So basically, he's in care. So basically, he's saying once Usaki and his regiment come back, we're gonna mount a final assault on the Mist Village. So basically, Iran was what the hell are you doing? That's crazy. If we do that, our whole clan will be wiped. Our whole clan will be wiped out. So basically, not listening to reason and whatnot. So basically, Iran was about to fight his father, but it seemed like Ivan was about to fight his father, but lucky he came to his senses that this is not the time to do so. So anyway, so basically Kaida came in the room was trying to Kaida's father was trying to get him to embrace his power that he has. So basically, this special ability that he has to manipulate water and whatnot and join the fight. But Kaido refused. He wants to stay by his sister's side and make sure she's covered. So basically, his father was giving him. Let's give him that, don't stand by while your clan is suffering, doing nothing. So basically, kind of said, only thing I'm doing is making sure my sister, making sure my sister is going to be okay. So anyway, and that's when, that's when the pirates that was led by Funsaki came back and brought back Funsaki's body and told him that the pirates came back who was led by Funsaki came back and brought back Funsaki's body and tell Ava and others about what happened. He said a hidden leaf black killed Funsaki. Koban, Koban and his mother were shocked that were heartbroken that that Funsaki got killed, and basically and basically to make the whole situation worse for Kaida, why don't you do something, Kaida, Lord Kaida, and basically, and Koban basically ran off after seeing the sight of his father's dead body wrapped in cloth and whatnot. So anyway, late Simon woke up. Finally, she was not aware how much time he probably woke up from her coma, not aware how much time that how much time that passed since she got wounded and whatnot, and still thinking that she was still going to carry out the frontal assault to carry out the ambush on the Mist Village. So basically, she got out of the bed too fast and fell and opened her wounds up. And basically, Kaido was she was just calling for a doctor and whatnot. And basically, she's all delusional. We can't let the Miss Village in them win. So Kaido can you possibly all delirious and whatnot. So basically, Kaido was that her sister threw kind of like her fireworks before she passed out for opening her rose again, telling telling Kaido that we can't let them win. We can't let them win. So basically, Kaido said, "I promise you, we won't let them. We won't let them win." So basically, his sister after promising his sister, we won't let the Misfits win. She passed out. I don't know if she's dead or not. She did hit the ground hard and opened up her wound. So basically, I don't know if she did or she just passed out. But anyway, after Carter spoke to his sister, Aaron was your sister, our sister, when she went to come get you, she tried to do a sneak attack on the island that you worked at, and that's the reason why she got herself injured in the first place, because she was trying to take out Kagura and those Kagura and those mist ninjas and leaf ninjas on this ship on that shipwreck on that ship island that you work at. So basically, that it's not your fault that that our sister is her fault because she tried to do a sneak attack on those ninjas. So anyway, so anyway, later that night, we see Cobra, getting his colors, basically those two purple lines on his forehead, like all the other pirates does, and decided to join the pirates and get revenge on the person who killed his father, and also somewhere else in the headquarters, Ira was talking to another person that was loyal to him, who was loyal to him, it's just my father's hatred towards the village, towards the mist village will lead to our downfall. So basically, he's saying that we had no choice but to make sure that doesn't happen. So basically, he's going to plan a coup, like a takeover to take down his father and make sure the Funta pirates will survive. So anyway, it turns out later that day, turns out that we see Ara go into the bottom of the ocean, and we see this woman covered in glass, and he put a pearl next to this woman who was covered in glass. Turns out a long time ago when Kaida was born, there was in a battle one day when Kaido was born. His mother and father was in this battle aboard a ship, and basically this special crystal jutsu imprisoned her in this. She got imprisoned in this special crystal jutsu, and she sank to the bottom of the ocean. Ocean near the headquarters and some shit like that. And basically, that's the kind of the reason why he's hellbound of Al Qaeda to to use his powers to take down use Qaeda's powers to take down the misfits and also get revenge for his wife, who is stuck in this crystal, on the bottom of the ocean and whatnot. So anyway, Carter later that Ethan, jumped into dived into the ocean and came up, and he finally got gills and basically embraced his power and basically decided to join the fight and take down the misfits and get revenge on the people who killed his family members and his friends once and for all. So basically, that's how the episode ended, with Kylo fully embracing his full pirate heritage and basically swearing revenge or the full time enemies, especially Boruto, and basically swearing revenge on all of their enemies, and that's how the episode ended. So anyway, this was a pretty good episode. So basically, for a group of pirates, I didn't know that these group of pirates were were basically they did have families, they did have families in these pirates in this group of pirates. So basically, damn, this episode was a bit more deeper. Dive deeper into the villains, dive into the villains' psyche, dive into the villains, backstories a bit more. So that's in typical Naruto fashion, this episode dived into the backstories of the villains a bit more, we got a more deeper dive into the backstories of the villains of this current story arc in the Boruto anime series. But this was a good episode. So, hey, what do you guys think? Sign off. 1.